Good morning, students. Peace be with you all. Stay safe. I am Mrs. Smita Deshmukh, teacher of Holy Cross Convent English High School. With the help and guidance of Easy Test app, we are on the last topic of the circle, chapter number 3. The topics are theorems of angle between tangent and secant, its converse, theorem of internal division of chords, theorem of external division of chord, tangent secant segment theorem, practice set 3.5. So let's begin. Theorem of angles between tangent and secant. The statement of the theorem is, if an angle has its vertex on the circle, its one side touches the circle and the other side intersects the circle at one more point, then the measure of this angle is half the intercepted arc. The angle so forming over here is also in which one of the side touches the circle and the other one intersects the circle at one more point, okay, and the measure of this angle is half the intercepted arc. Same way here, here the angle so forming is obtuse angle, okay, more than 90 degree, and measure of this angle is half the intercepted arc. Here angle, one of the one of the arm is touching the circle and the other arm is intersecting the circle at 2 points. So the proof starts as such. Very first one, the one of the arm of angle, that is AB, is a diameter, okay, and it passes through the center of the circle. The other arm touches the circle. AB passes through the center of the circle and BC touches the circle. What we have to prove over here is measure angle ABC is half measure arc AXB, okay. Now angle ABC will be 90 degree. Tangent theorem, tangent drawn and this radius touches are perpendicular to each other. So the angle so formed at the point of contact is 90 degree. So angle ABC is 90 degree. That is tangent theorem, okay. Now measure of the arc AXB will be 180 degree as it is representing the semicircle. Measure of semicircle is 180 degree. Then half measure arc BXA, that is half of 180, will be equal to 90 degree. Therefore, measure angle ABC is half measure arc AXB, okay. Measure of this angle is 180 degree, that is angle ABC, and measure of this arc is 180 degree. Now 90 is half of 180. From this we conclude that measure angle ABC is half measure arc BXA. Next, now here the angle so forming is an acute angle, okay. The center of the circle lies outside the angle, okay. Now here we have to prove that measure angle ABC is half measure arcs BXA. Fine. Now here OB and OA are the radius of the circle, okay. So their base angles will be equal to one another. So angle OBA will be equal to angle OAB, okay. Now here measure angle ABC will be equal to what? It will be equal to measure angle OBC minus measure angle OBA, okay. Now measure angle BAO will be what? It will be equal to this whole measure of this angle is 90 degree, angle BOBC, okay. This is the radius, this is the tangent. By tangent theorem, the measure angle OBC is 90 degree, okay. So this will be 90 minus measure angle ABC, okay. Measure angle ABO will be what? It will be again 90 minus measure angle ABC. Fine. Now here these two angles are equal, I have told you earlier, okay. So the sum of them will be equal to what? Angle ABO plus angle BAO will give me what? I'm adding these two equations, this one and this one. So it will be 180 minus 2 measure angle ABC. 90 plus 90 is 180, minus 2 times measure angle ABC, minus this minus minus turns out to be plus, so it will be minus 2 times measure angle ABC. This part is clear. Now how this angle OBC can be written in terms of angle OBD and all. Okay, so the angle so formed over here is 180 degree. Okay, so here 180 degree minus measure angle BOA will give me measure angle 180 minus 2 times measure angle ABC. Okay, now 180 gets cancelled. Fine, as it is getting cancelled, so what is the remaining part that we are getting? That is measure angle BOA is equal to 2 times measure angle ABC. So angle BOA is equal to measure arc AXB. Okay, so in place of measure angle BOA, I can write measure arc AXB. Okay, so your angle ABC is half measure arc AXB. Next, here the angle so forming is obtuse angle. Okay, angle ABC, center lies inside the angle. Okay, center of the circle lies inside the angle, and here we have to prove that angle ABC is half measure arc AXB. Okay, now here the angle so forming, we'll go to the next one, that is angle ABD. Okay, or DBA, one and the same thing, intercepts minor arc BYA. Okay, so measure angle DBA is equal to half measure arc BYA. Okay, by tangent secant theorem. Okay, now here 180 minus, now how this angle DAB can be represented? It can be represented as 180 minus measure angle ABC. Okay, and how measure arc BYA can be represented? It can be represented as the measure of whole circle minus measure arc AXB. Okay, now in place of BYA, I can substitute 360 minus measure arc AXB. So the equation turns out to be 180 minus measure angle ABC is equal to half in bracket 360 minus measure arc AXB. Okay, now half of 360 is 180 minus half measure arc AXB. What I am doing here, I am multiplying half with the whole bracket. Okay, so here the equation will be 180 minus measure angle ABC is equal to 180 minus half measure arc AXB. 180 gets cancelled. My equation is minus measure angle ABC is equal to minus half measure arc AXB. Minus gets cancelled. Therefore, angle ABC will be equal to half measure arc AXB. Now in every cases we have proved that measure angle ABC is equal to half measure arc AXB. Okay, this is what is the theorem. Next part of it is converse of the theorem of angle between the tangent and the secant. The statement of the theorem is a line is drawn from one end point of a chord of a circle, and if the angle between the chord and the line is half the measure of the arc intercepted by that angle, then that line is tangent to the circle. This theorem is, the proof of this theorem is an indirect proof. So whatever we have to prove, we have to suppose that it is not there. Okay, now what is the given part over here? Given part is measure angle ABC is equal to half measure arc AXB, or measure angle ABD is equal to half measure arc AYB. What we have to prove here, I'll go with the figure one more time. Angle ABC is half measure arc AXB, or angle ABD is equal to half measure arc AYB. Okay, now and we have to prove that DC is the tangent to the circle. Okay, as I have told you that it is an indirect proof, so we have to go with the statement whatever is to be proven is not there. So we have to prove that DC is the tangent. So we'll suppose that DC is not the tangent at point B. Then we will draw another line over there. That line is D dash C dash, okay, which is tangent to the circle at point B. Okay, so by theorem of angles between tangent and secant, what will be the measure of angle ABC? It will be ABC dash, it will be equal to half measure arc AXB. Okay, now here, but what is given to us? Given part is measure angle ABC is equal to half measure arc AXB. Now see equation number 1 and equation number 2. Equation number 1 is by theorem angle between the tangent and secant. Second part is given to us. From 1 and 2, what do we observe? Right hand side is equal, so left hand side will be ultimately equal. So angle ABC is equal to angle ABC dash. Okay. Similarly, we can come to the conclusion that angle ABD is equal to measure angle ABD dash. Okay. Now here the line BC dash, this line BC dash coincides with line BC. Okay, that is line BC can be written as D dash C dash. Okay, and it coincides with DC. Okay, this BC dash can be written as DC. Okay, so here D dash C dash coincides with DC. Okay, so here we come to the point that line DC is the tangent to the circle. Here angle ABC is equal to angle ABC dash. It cannot be possible according to the definition of the tangent that it touches at only one single point. Okay, so here whatever we have assumed is wrong. So DC D dash C dash is not the tangent, which is it coincides with the with DC. So DC is the tangent to the circle. Next one, alternative theorem of angle between the tangent and secant. If the secant is drawn through the point of contact of tangent to the circle, then the angle so formed over here with the tangent makes with the chord contained the secant is equal to the angle subtended by the chord in the corresponding alternate segment is equal to the angle subtended by the chord. Okay, this is an alternate segment. Okay, so your angle PQR is equal to angle PTQ. This we have to prove. Okay, what we have to prove? Angle PQR is equal to angle PTQ. Okay, now how we are going to prove this? I have not written the proof of it, as only the statement is written in the book. So the proof goes as such, very easy proof, you will understand. Okay, if you have understood the previous concepts of the chapter. Now come to angle PTQ. It is equal to half measure arc PXQ. Angle inscribed theorem. Okay. After that, angle PQR is equal to half measure arc PXQ. Angle made by tangent secant theorem. Okay. Now in both the cases, this angle is also equal to half measure arc PXQ and angle PQR is also equal to half measure arc PXQ. So right hand side is equal, so ultimately the left hand side will be equal. From this we come to the conclusion that PTQ is equal to PQR. Okay, this is also known as angles in alternate segment are congruent. Next part, that is theorem of internal division of the chords. Okay, now the statement I'll read, then we'll go to the next slide. Suppose two chords of the circle intersect each other in the interior of the circle, then the product of the length of the two segments of one chord is equal to the product of the length of the two segments of the other chord. Now what is given to us? We have been given a circle with center O. Okay, two chords are given, PR and QS. Okay, both are intersecting each other inside the circle at point E. Okay, now what we have to prove? Now the segment formed by the chord is PE and ER, and segment formed by the other chord QS is QE and ES, right? What we have to prove is, we have to prove that PE into ER is equal to QE into ES. This we have to prove. Okay. Now, if we go to the angle, PQS, okay, and angle SRP, what do you observe? They are inscribed in the same arc, that is arc PS. Okay. So these two angles will be equal to one another by angle inscribed in the same arc property. Okay. So these two angles are equal to one another. Now in place of angle PQS, I can write angle PQE as E lies between Q and S. Same way, in place of angle SRP or PRS, I can write ERS or SRE. Okay, as E lies between P and R. So I can write that angle PQE is equal to angle SRE. Right. Now we will go to the triangles forming over there. The triangle forming is triangle PQE and triangle SRE. Okay. Which two angles are congruent? We have proved from one. That is angle PQE is equal to angle ESR or RS. ERS. Okay. Angle PQE is equal to angle ERS. Okay. From 1. Now the next triangle, that is angle PEQ, is equal to angle SER, vertically opposite angles. So these two triangles forming over here are similar to each other by AA test of similarity. Okay. Then their side ratios we have to write. So the side ratios will be PE upon SE is equal to QE upon ER. Cross multiply. When we cross multiply this, it is equal to PE into RE is equal to SE into QE. This is theorem of internal division. Okay, very important one. Next one, theorem of external division of the chord. Chord AB and CD of a circle intersects outside the circle in point E, then AE into EB is equal to CE into ED. Okay, this we have to prove. This part we have to prove. What is given to us now? Given part is a circle is given to us. Fine. A circle is given to us with two secants AE and CE intersecting the circle at point AB and CD, and both the secants are intersecting each other at point E. Now here we have to prove that AE into EB is equal to CE into DE. Okay. Now come to the angles forming over here. Angle DAB. Okay. And angle DCB. Both are forming by the same arc. Inscribed in the same arc. That's why they are equal. So in place of angle DAB, I can write angle DAE, okay, and in place of angle BCD, I can write angle BCE. Here we are using the property of betweenness, as B lies between A and E and D lies between C and E. Okay, so we are with the two triangles over here, triangle ADE and triangle BCE. Okay, now here in triangle ADE and triangle BCE or CBE, angle DAE is equal to angle BCE from 1. Angle AED is equal to angle CEB, common angle. Okay. So the triangles ADB is equal to triangle BCD by AA test of similarity. Therefore, AE upon EB is equal to CE upon DE, cross multiply. So it will be AE into BE is equal to CE into DE. Next one, that is tangent secant segment theorem. The statement of the theorem is point E is on the exterior of the angle. A secant through E intersects the circle at point A and B, and a tangent through E touches the circle at point T. Then we have to prove EA into EB is equal to ET square. Given part is a circle with center O, okay, and we have been given a tangent which touches the circle at point T and secant which intersects the circle at point A and B. A and B. Okay. Now here what we have to prove is AE into EB. AE into EB is equal to ET square. For this, we have to do certain construction. We have to join TA, draw the segment TA and TB. We will be with two triangles over here. This chota small triangle over here, that is triangle ETA, ETA and triangle ETB. Okay, these two triangles, one of the angle is common over there, that is angle E. So it will be AET is equal to TEB, common angle. Now angle ETA is equal to angle EBT, tangent secant theorem. Okay. Now here the two triangles will be equal to one another, will be similar to one another by AA test of similarity. So their side ratios now, it will be ET upon EB is equal to EA upon ET. Cross multiply, so it will be EA into EB is equal to ET square. So here we end up with the theorems. Now I'll start with the practice set 3.5. First problem of it. In the figure, ray PQ touches the circle at point Q. PQ touches the circle at point Q. Length of PQ is 12. PR is given to us as 8. We are supposed to find out PS and RS. Okay. So here we are going to use tangent secant theorem. Why? Because here one of the secant which is touching the circle at point P and R, and a tangent which touches the circle at point Q. So it will be PQ square is equal to PS into PR. Now what is given to us? Length of PQ is given to us and length of PR is given to us. From this equation we are going to find out length of PS. Okay. So therefore substituting the values, so it will be 12 square is equal to 8 into PS. From this we are going to get the length of PS. So PS will be equal to 12 square in upon 8. So 12 square is 144 upon 8. When I simplify this, the answer for that is 18. So length of PS is 18. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out RS. This RS. Now how to find RS? PR is given, PS we have calculated. From PS, I'll subtract RS. From PS, I'll subtract PR so that I will get RS. Okay. So here RS will be equal to this full is 18 PS minus 8. Will give me RS. So length of RS is equal to 18 minus 8, that is equal to 10. So in this way length of PS is 18 and length of RS is 10. Next problem. In next problem we have been given the two chords, that is MN and RS which intersect each other at point D. Length of RD is given to us as 4 and length of MD is given to us as 8, and length of DS is also given to us, that is 4. Okay, we are supposed to find out length of DN. What we are going to do over here, first observe the figure. What is given? A circle is given, two chords are given which are intersecting internally with each other. When the chords intersect internally with each other, what is the property that we have to use? We have to use the product of the two segments of the one chord is equal to the product of the two segments of the other chord. Okay, so it will be RD into DS is equal to MD into DN. Okay, so here substitute all the values. After substituting all the values, what equation do we get? We get 8 into Dn is equal to 15 into 4. So Dn will be equal to 60 into Dn is equal to 60 upon 8. Okay, so length of Dn is equal to 7.4. When I simplify it, the answer for that is 7.4. Next of it that we have to find out is length of dr. Same problem, second part of it. Okay, now what is given to us? Given part is RS is given to us as 18, MD is 9 and DN is 8. We are supposed to find out DS. Okay, so we will suppose that DS is X. Okay, now DR plus DS will give me RS. Okay, so DR plus X, here we have supposed that it is X, will give me RS, that is 18, right? So what will be DR? DR will be equal to 18 minus X. Now again by the theorem of internal division, we have to go. So here it is equal to dm into dn is equal to dr into ds. Now why we have used this supposition over here? Because two values were not given. Only the length of RS was given to us. Okay. From that we are supposed to find out, means we need at least three values to get the third value. So to get that third value, we have to suppose that one of the part is equal to X. So from that we will get the other part. I hope I am clear. So now by the theorem of internal division, dm into dn is equal to dr into ds. Substitute the value. 9 into 8 is equal to 18 minus x into x. Open the bracket. 8 into 7 is 72, that is equal to 18x minus x square. Now here we are getting a quadratic equation that we have to solve. So the equation turns out to be x square minus 18x plus 72. The product of the equation is 72 and sum is minus 18. So it is 12 and 6. 12 6 is 72. Middle term is negative. So both the terms will be negative. So it is minus 12 and minus 6. I hope I am clear. So it is x square minus 12x minus 6x plus 72 equal to 0. Then we have to find out common of the first two terms and common of the next two terms. So in the first two terms the common is x. So x I take out common. So what I get in the bracket is x minus 12. In the next two term, if minus 6 is common, I get in the bracket x minus 12 equal to 0. Now the equation is x minus 12 and x minus 6 equal to 0. Now here either x will be equal to 12 or x will be equal to 6. So the value of ds is either 12 or 6. This is what is question number 2. Now we move on to question number 3. In question number 3, what is given to us? That in the figure, point O is the center of the circle and B is a point of contact. OE is perpendicular to segment AD and AB is 12, AC is 8. We have to find out measure of DC, DE, okay, and AD. Now here, very first one, what is given to us that we have to write, first part that we have to find out is length of AD. So here, one of the tangent, we know that it touches the circle at one point, that point is point B, and line AD intersects the circle, which is the secant, which intersects the circle at point C and D. So what theorem we are going to use over here? We are going to use tangent secant segment theorem. So we get the equation AB square is equal to AC into AD. From here we are going to get the length of AD. Now substituting the value, AB is given to us as 12, so square of that will be equal to 8 into AD. So length of AD is equal to 144 or 12 into 12 upon 8. Okay. So AD, when I calculate or when I simplify this, length of AD turns out to be 18. Now AD is 18. What I have to find out? I have to find out DC now. How I'm going to get DC? AC is with me, AD is with me, and I have to find out DC. Okay. So here the equation that we are going to get is C lies between A and D. Okay. So it will be AC plus DC is equal to AD. Okay. Length of AD is 18, AC is 8. So 8 plus DC is equal to 18. Okay. So what will be DC then? DC will be 18 minus 8. So 18 minus 8 is 10. That is DC. Okay. After that, come to the circle. DC is the chord and OE is the perpendicular which is landing on DC at point E. Okay. So the perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord, what do it do? It bisects the chord. So length of DE will be equal to half of DC. Okay. So half of 10, that will be equal to 5. So length of DE is equal to 5. So here we have calculated length of AD by tangent secant theorem, that is 18. Then we have calculated DC by using the property of betweenness and it turns out to be 10. Then we have used the property of chord and the segment joining the center and the chord, midpoint of the chord bisects the chord. Okay, perpendicular bisects the chord. That property we have used, and the length of DE is equal to 5. Next problem. Next problem is, in figure, if PQ is 6, if PQ is 6 and PS is 8, we are supposed to find out TS. Okay. And the solution for this is PR. How do we get PR? It is PQ plus QR. PQ is given to us and QR is given to us. Okay. So we can calculate PR over here. So length of PR will be PQ plus QR. So it is 6 plus 10, that is equal to 16. Now ST is the chord. Okay. And this chord is intersecting at point P. Okay. Which chord? ST and chord QR is intersecting at point P, means it is intersecting externally of the circle. So which theorem we are going to use? We are going to use the theorem of external division of the chord. So what is that theorem? That is PS into PT is equal to PQ into PR. Substitute the value. So it is 8 into PT is equal to 6 into 16. So what is PT? PT will be 6 into 16 upon 8. After calculating, the answer turns out to be 12. Okay. Now what is what we have to find out? We have to find out TS over here. Now PS we have, PT we have calculated. PT we have calculated, and PS is PT is with us. Okay. PS is with us, right? So here PS plus TS is equal to PT. So TS will be equal to PT minus PS. Okay, so that is 12 minus 8, that is equal to 4. Okay, now here we have used what? Very first one, property of betweenness, second theorem of external division, and again property of betweenness to find all the respective values. So PR turns out to be 16, PT after calculation we get 12, and TS is equal to 4. Last problem of the exercise. In figure, segment EF is a diameter, and segment DF is the tangent to the circle. Radius of the circle is 4. Radius of the circle is R, and we have to prove that DE into GE is equal to 4R square. Very interesting problem, and it's really very enjoyable to solve such types of problems. Now what is given to us? DF is a tangent, okay, as it is touching the circle at point F, okay, and DE is the secant as it is intersecting the circle at 2 points, that is G and E. Okay, now DF is perpendicular to EF, so it is forming the angle of 90 degree at point F. So angle DEF is 90 degree. Okay, now here by Pythagoras theorem, what will be DE square? So DE square will be equal to DF square plus EF square. Okay, so EF is with us as radius is given to us, so double of that will be the diameter, and EF is the diameter, right? So the equation is DE square is equal to DF square plus 2R square. Square of 2R is 4R square, right? So the equation is DE square equal to DF square plus 4R square, right? Now 4R square. So what is 4R square? It will be equal to DE square minus DF square. Okay. Now by theorem of external division, what will be DF square? DF square will be equal to DG into DE, right? So that I will substitute in place of DF square. Okay. So the equation will be 4R square is equal to DE square minus DG into DE. So 4R square is equal to, now in this equation you see that DE square and DE is common over there, so that I will take out. So it will be 4R square is equal to DE in bracket, here DE is left and here DG is left. So it is DE minus DG. Now DE minus DG gives me what? It gives me EG. So 4R square is equal to DE into EG. So here we end up. We have completed chapter number 3, circle. I hope you all have understood. Any queries or any comment, please mention it in the comment box. Thank you.